Welcome to Sports Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of athletic legends. I'm your host, Howard Closewell, and today we're going to explore the extraordinary life of Pat Summitt, a trailblazing figure in women's basketball. As we embark on this journey, you'll discover how Pat Summitt's unyielding spirit, unwavering dedication, and pioneering achievements redefined the sport and left an indelible mark on American culture. Born on June 14, 1952, in Clarksville, Tennessee, Patricia Sue Head Summitt grew up in a rural community where hard work, discipline, and determination were instilled in her from a young age. Her parents, Richard and Hazel Head, were high school sweethearts who valued education and encouraged their children to pursue their passions. The family's farm, nestled in the rolling hills of Montgomery County, was a place where Pat developed a strong work ethic, often rising before dawn to help with chores and tending to the land. I recall speaking with Pat's sister, Linda, who fondly remembered their childhood days on the farm, saying, "Pat was always up at the crack of dawn, feeding the animals and helping Mom with the household chores." She had an innate sense of responsibility that would serve her well throughout her life. As a child, Pat was an energetic and competitive youngster, always eager to take on new challenges and push herself to excel. She attended Cheatham County High School, where she played basketball, volleyball, and softball, showcasing her versatility as an athlete. Her high school coach, Margaret Hudson, remembered Pat's exceptional leadership skills, saying, "Pat was a natural leader, always willing to lend a helping hand and support her teammates." She had a fierce, competitive spirit that drove her to succeed. Under Hudson's guidance, Pat developed a strong foundation in basketball, which would eventually become her passion. Growing up in rural Tennessee during the 1950s and 1960s, Pat witnessed firsthand the struggles of the civil rights movement and the changing social landscape of the South. She recalled attending desegregated schools and experiencing the tensions that arose from this significant shift in American history. These experiences would later inform her coaching philosophy and shape her commitment to empowering young women through sports. Pat's family played a significant role in shaping her values and character. Her father, Richard, was a hard-working farmer who instilled in Pat the importance of perseverance and dedication. Her mother, Hazel, was a homemaker who taught Pat the value of kindness, compassion, and community service. The Head family was deeply rooted in their community, often hosting church gatherings and participating in local events. This strong sense of community would later influence Pat's approach to coaching, as she emphasized the importance of teamwork, camaraderie, and social responsibility. Her experiences on the farm, in school, and within her community laid the foundation for her future success as a coach and a leader. Pat Summitt's journey in women's basketball began at the University of Tennessee at Martin, where she played under the guidance of Coach Nadine Guerin. During her time at UT Martin, Pat developed into a talented athlete, earning All-American honors and leading her team to several championship titles. Her experience as a player laid the foundation for her future success as a coach, teaching her the importance of discipline, teamwork, and perseverance. After graduating from UT Martin in 1974, Pat Summitt began her coaching career at the age of 22, taking on the role of head coach at Tennessee Tech. Although her tenure was brief, lasting only one season, it marked the beginning of an extraordinary journey that would take her to the pinnacle of success in women's college basketball. In 1974, Pat Summitt joined the University of Tennessee as a graduate assistant coach under the legendary Coach Billy Moore. This opportunity not only allowed her to hone her coaching skills, but also exposed her to the inner workings of a major collegiate program. Her experience at Tennessee proved invaluable, as she learned from some of the best coaches and players in the game. 2 years later, in 1976, Pat Summitt was appointed as the head coach of the University of Tennessee Lady Volunteers basketball team. At just 24 years old, she became one of the youngest head coaches in NCAA history. Despite facing numerous challenges, including limited resources and a lack of support for women's athletics, Pat Summitt persevered, driven by her passion for the sport and her commitment to empowering young women. Under Pat Summitt's guidance, the Lady Volunteers began to flourish. She implemented a rigorous training program, emphasizing conditioning, fundamentals, and teamwork. Her coaching philosophy, which emphasized discipline, hard work, and social responsibility, resonated with her players, who responded by dedicating themselves to the team's success. Throughout the 1980s, Pat Summitt's Lady Volunteers dominated women's college basketball, winning 3 NCAA championships and establishing themselves as a national powerhouse. Her teams were known for their tenacious defense, precise offense, and unwavering commitment to excellence. Players like Cindy Noble, Shelley Sexton, and Bridget Gordon became household names as they led the Lady Volunteers to victory after victory. Pat Summitt's success on the court was matched by her impact off it. She became a pioneering figure in women's sports, advocating for greater recognition, resources, and opportunities for female athletes. Her commitment to empowering young women extended beyond the basketball court, as she encouraged her players to pursue their passions, develop their leadership skills, and make a positive difference in their communities. Her legacy extends far beyond the basketball court, as she paved the way for future generations of female athletes, coaches, and leaders. As Pat Summitt continued to lead the University of Tennessee Lady Volunteers basketball team, she faced new challenges and achieved even greater success. In 1996, she led her team to a 3rd consecutive NCAA championship, cementing her legacy as one of the greatest coaches in women's college basketball. Her teams were known for their discipline, hard work, and unwavering commitment to excellence, and players like Shameik Holdsclaw, Samika Randall, and Tamika Catchings became household names. Throughout the 1990s and 2000s, Pat Summitt continued to push the boundaries of excellence in women's basketball. She was a pioneer for women's sports, advocating for greater recognition, resources, and opportunities for female athletes. Her commitment to empowering young women extended beyond the basketball court, as she encouraged her players to pursue their passions, develop their leadership skills, and make a positive difference in their communities. In 2009, Pat Summitt announced that she had been diagnosed with early-onset Alzheimer's disease, a devastating blow to her fans and the sports world. Despite this diagnosis, she continued to coach, inspiring her players and the nation with her courage and determination. Her final season as head coach of the Lady Volunteers was in 2011-2012, during which she led her team to an Elite Eight appearance. After retiring from coaching, Pat Summitt dedicated herself to raising awareness about Alzheimer's disease and promoting women's sports. She established the Pat Summitt Foundation, which aimed to support research, education, and advocacy for Alzheimer's disease, as well as promote leadership development and empowerment for young women. Her legacy extended far beyond the basketball court, as she paved the way for future generations of female athletes, coaches, and leaders. One notable example of her commitment to empowering young women was her involvement in the NCAA's Women's Leadership Development Program. This initiative aimed to provide female student-athletes with leadership training, mentorship, and networking opportunities, and Pat Summitt was a key figure in its development and implementation. Her legacy continues to inspire generations of athletes, coaches, and leaders, and her impact on women's sports will be felt for years to come. In the final years of her life, Pat Summitt continued to inspire those around her with her courage and determination in the face of adversity. She passed away on June 28, 2016, at the age of 64, leaving behind a legacy that will forever be etched in the history of women's basketball. Her impact on the sport, her players, and the world will never be forgotten, and her memory continues to inspire and motivate those who knew her and followed her remarkable career. She was a true pioneer, a champion for women's sports, and an inspiration to countless individuals around the world. That's all for today's Sports Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm Howard Closewell reminding you to keep shooting for your goals.